are live. So welcome back to the second half. I'll pull this out of the demo pack for Chronopia. So today I had a little bit of time, not enough consistent time to stream, but I finished up the, or at least got them to table ready, the Devout. You see them spinning in the corner there. So basically what you saw yesterday, all the flats and then a wash over those, and then maybe a couple of highlights on the gold and silver, and that was about it. Nothing too extensive, maybe another 2 hours. So it went pretty fast after that, and then I just colored the bases and did some kind of dead earth around them. So let's see how far we'll get, and manual focus is going on tonight, so none of that constantly out of focus like we had. Now I just have to stay in frame. I'm not zoomed in quite as tight, so it should be okay. But there we are. So I hope everyone is doing well this evening, or whatever time it is where you are. So I'm going to start with some pale flesh for the elves, and I want to make sure I still haven't figured out all the colors I want to go with. Yeah, because I want to get some color on here, and I'm not quite sure if I want to do a really, I have for the fabric I have a really vibrant blue, this Telesar contrast that may look nice, but it might be a little bit crazy. And then I also have a Space Wolves gray, which is a very bluish gray, but this may be too muted. I don't know. I'm just worried that the real vibrant blue is going to blow it out. It looks like, you know, Caribbean ocean water. It's really, really bright. So that would be colors of things like the fabric on the spear, and then down here, kind of a loincloth area. Most of them is going to be a very bright silver. I've got a really bright chainmail. So the game color chainmail we'll go with, because it's much brighter than anything I have from Citadel. Although this may need a little bit of help to get the coverage that I want. And then we're gonna do some blue tinting. Yeah. So I've got a glaze that I want to do over the chainmail to give it kind of a bluish hue, because if you notice, especially in the illustrations, so here's the card for the spearman. If you notice in the illustrations, you know, it's very bluish, and then the shield itself, which is on his back, is very blue. So we'll see how that goes, but let's start with the flesh and go from there. See if we can figure this out as we go along. This is a very pink, very pink flesh. It's maybe more than we want, but I don't want them to be too zombie-like. So let's start with something like this. We can always kind of shift course. This may take a couple of layers, although it doesn't need to be. I'm going to put a wash over this right away, like a flesh shade. So it doesn't have to be too opaque. And I think that's the only flesh. It's just the faces. The archer seems to be showing a little bit more skin. Not in the illustration, but on the mini. So we'll deal with that. But everyone else, I think it's just faces, because everyone's gloved or gauntleted. So yeah, it's not too pink on the model. That's good. On the palette, it's incredibly pink. So just try to tuck this in there a little bit. It's going to be the only chance we get. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, there's no neck or anything. Yeah, that's the only flesh showing. So we'll do the other spearmen the same. So I like the two poses. So it's like a standing, throwing pose, holding the shield, and then the kneeling, like thrusting. So pretty cool variety. Yeah, I like that. I like already out of the gate, because that would be an old school thing to do, is just have one one sculpt of everything duplicated 5 times. But they did a nice job of varying it up already with just 2 units. So yeah, I did a stream for the assembly, if you caught that. And now we're painting the second half, so trying to get this all done just in time. So everyone's excitement is peaked for the 29th launch. All right, yeah, this is just making them look a little bit more alive. Yeah, that hand though, there's a lot of, look at that detail on that hand. It almost, they wouldn't be ungloved, would they? Yeah, the archer, let me get rid of some of this string from the under the arm there. The archer, I don't know, that does look like a bare elbow. I guess it could be. No, or a shirt. It's this model looks more like a shirt. Like it looks like sleeves. But this model, it's a little bit more sculpted. But that would be crazy to have skin. Although the hands would look pretty cool. All right, let's take a quick look, see what the inspiration was. Hopefully I can get this close enough. So here's what we're looking at. The Adrian Smith kind of first edition stuff. So this is Obsidian Serpent, so the colors are going to be different. So we're going to be doing a real cool... Oh, actually, yeah, we might want to do like a Phoenician gray. I guess that's mostly silver. We'll see if we want to... Yeah, maybe the Space Wolves silver and the muted one will be nice. And then those are the shields. But yeah, everyone, of course, all of these 90s miniatures, they're all heavily gauntleted. No one's going to have bare anything because their hands are as big as their heads. Their fists are... Yeah, so all the spearmen have leather gloves and looks like shirts. Oh, I don't know, that could be skin. No, it could be. Interesting. So they don't have... What are we going to do here? How naked do we want these elves? So they don't have kind of the... what is it? The vambraces? The arm... The forearm armor. You guys don't have it. They just have heavy... Oops. Heavy leather gloves. But that does look like bare skin. And I guess for throwing, that would make sense. Give them a little bit more. So it would just be the hands, the arms. Oh, sure. We can always change it later. Because this is a really, really, really light color. So we might be doing that with the blues as well. Hey, unknown girl, how is it going? Yes, yes, yes. I hope I don't break anything. I did knock an arm off the elf. Oh, what do you think of the... Wait a minute, how do I point to these guys? So here's everybody that I did yesterday, kind of finished on a little turntable. So this guy, the Cursed, wasn't as dark as I wanted, but he still ended up looking pretty grungy. But... we'll see. Okay, so let's try bare skin. That's going to look weirder. I think that'll look stranger. Because the way that these hands are sculpted, it's not... They don't look like gloves. I mean, unless they're very, very delicate leather gloves, which could be very elven. But let's see what this looks like first, and if this looks too weird and naked, we can kind of turn the ship around. Because this will be easy to cover. All right. So I've got to be extra careful. Yeah, I broke the axe on the devout cursed because he's obviously cursed. And then it was time to do these long spears, and that's just the assembly, just pulling them off of the rafts and channeling from the resin cast. And that was scary because I was expecting to break a lot more. All right. Yeah, this will be kind of cool if I can get a nice shade on this flesh. This might look pretty cool. Because right now it's a little pink, but I don't know. We'll see. A flesh shade could fix that. Yeah, these hands don't look gloved, so we'll try this because the elven archer is pretty naked. You can actually see her sides. I mean, you could paint that however you wanted, but for me it reads like flesh. The illustration, of course, is very conservative because that's the first thing Twitter will complain about is an illustration. So I'm just, and I know that the sculptor is Spanish, so a lot of Spanish artists go with a sexier, more skin showing look, so let's go with that for now. I'm not racially or nationally profiling everyone, but I'm just thinking of like first generation Infinity. They had to tone it down because millennials were getting embarrassed by their miniatures. All right. Yeah, it's pretty pink, but like I said, we're going to tone this down. We've got some highlights. I've got some pallid flesh kind of highlights we can go back with. So there we go for the skin. I think our Lotus Guard has only his face. Yeah, he's pretty. Oh, I don't know. He's pretty gauntleted up. I'm not sure about his fingers, though. Maybe we'll do his fingers coming out through the gauntlet. That would look kind of cool. Just right here. So they have this crazy armor, but these interesting little points of, because that would help him wield. A little bit. And I think just, yeah, these fingers here. So just coming out. Let's try this and see. See how it looks. We can always put leather. Put leather over everything. Oh, you fell asleep last night. Oh, great. It must be my exciting painting. Oh, great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're just my normal level. I'm not practiced enough to get anything looking too amazing, but it's so fun to do because you're making them so your own that it's one of my favorite parts of the hobby, although I know some people would rather just have mediocre pre-painted or get somebody else to do it and just want to play. They just want to play the game. They don't want to paint an army, but yeah, it's fun. I just like how much more lively they look, and you can really appreciate there aren't really any stages like bare resin was okay, the gray, but like white metal or sometimes plastic, you really don't appreciate the details until you start painting things and putting washes and things on them. Then all this work that the sculptors put in just pops right out. Yeah, I shouldn't worry about this. This flesh color is very easy to cover. Oops, this is looking a little thick. But yeah, it's fun. Just to get them to look the way you want. And I like the cruddier, so maybe I have to be a little cleaner painting elves because I went a little crustier with the devout just because they're kind of a demonic chaos. Oh, that's all hair too. Maybe we'll try the white. Oh yeah, the thumb on the sword. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, that's actually the handle. The hilt. All right, there's the thumb. There we go. All right, so now we've got the last one is the archer. And I was looking at her trying to figure out, yeah, she's got a lot. Yeah, because there's midriff under her armor, and then a little bit of side, some ribs there, and her elbows are, I think, yeah, her hands and elbows. Although, maybe just her fingers on this hand. Oh yeah, maybe just her fingers again. And they're covered up to the knuckles. So definitely her thighs. Yeah, so. And this should make, I don't know if this will make Chris mad and more or less likely to play the elves or not. If I have a less modest model on the Crystal Lotus side. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I'm sure you will hear during the live streams for the games. All right. Yeah, this pink skin looks much better on her than the other guys. Just want it to be a little smoother here. There we go. So, I guess we're going, yeah, back of the leg. And there's just a little tiny part of her thigh here. Oh, I'm putting it everywhere. Whoa. That did not go well. Just trying to get this paint in there and it's making a mess. All right. And then what do we think about? Okay, so we'll do her forearm and fingers. Nice. I kept you from slumber. Nice. Well, I'm glad to have you on the stream, Unknown Girl. I enjoy your company. It's fun to have you in chat. Yeah, unfortunately, when I'm focused on little details, I don't talk as much, so you'll just hear me holding my breath so that I don't blob this everywhere. All right. Yeah, so yeah, that is her stomach. try this. Yeah, and then the side of the that breastplate. I think that's leather armor though. I guess it should be. So I'm not sure what color we're gonna do that. I guess it's got some. Oh yeah, this is all connected. Wow, yeah, yeah. Yeah, wow. So look at all that pink there. Lots of ribs. Oh yeah, I didn't clean up that elbow very well. It's looking a little crusty. Try to go a little heavier. See if I can smooth it out with a little bit of extra paint. All right, so we've got that. Oh, there's a little leg here. All right, and anything else? Got to make sure I get all of this because it's going to be really hard to go back with the lighter color and not get it everywhere. And then maybe her upper back. Yeah, she's showing a lot of skin. In this day and age, oh my. Yeah, it looks really good though. The sculpt is beautiful. Nice balanced pose. Nice. Oh, so the others. So I it was about 3.5 hours on stream painting last night, and it probably only about another 2 hours because once I washed them, there really wasn't much to do. There were a couple of gold details that I needed to finish, and then I did the wash, and it was just very. It wouldn't have been good to stream that because there was a lot of drying time. So I did, like I did like 10 minutes and then walked away and let everything dry. So probably another 2 hours, which I'm really surprised. I thought it would have taken a lot longer. But yeah, just so yeah, maybe almost 6 hours total. So we'll see how these go. But things are once you get the wash on there, things really speed up because it just kind of locks everything. That this is the slow part, is blocking in what color you want everything to be and making sure it doesn't spill out as you get the layers on. All right, little thumb sticking out. All right, and yeah, maybe even between these straps on her back. Yeah, look at that. So we'll hit that now so that if we do that leather color, we can just sneak that in there. Yeah, I didn't get to do, I did a little bit of red between the ribs of the devout. They had kind of these bloody ribs because their armor is kind of, looks like it's fusing to them. But I didn't do, this might need another layer. I didn't do as much with that as I wanted to. I might want to get, or maybe just use the that blood technical paint that Citadel has. That looks really nice and wet and gory, and just like really carefully put that in between the ribs so it looks like they're living flesh. Actually, let me get rid of some of this drying paint. Yeah, the wash does a lot of the work to bring up some of the details, and as long as nothing gets hidden or it doesn't dry particularly weird. But it's not really, I mean, I could spend many more hours on them. I just want to get playing because we're kind of on a deadline for these guys. So they're table ready. They'll look better, you know, that looks so much nicer than unpainted. But there's a lot of extra stuff I'd like to do. All right. And one thing I don't think I'm going to try to do is pupils on these elf eyes. They're tiny. Okay, so I think that's it. Her fingers, arms. Oh, what about under here? There we go. I think that's everything. Well, yeah, I think we'll move to Chainmail next. Although I'm not sure. She's got a lot of leather straps too. Oh, and there's boots. Yeah, these boots are mostly leather straps. It may be metal at the bottom. And those are buckles, definitely. Oh, man. All right, so maybe leather. Who else has leather? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I still think, yeah, the chainmail is probably the best thing to do next. There's a lot of it on every figure, so let's try that. So I'm going to switch my little water pot situation here. Sorry. And switch over. I haven't used this before, but I like how bright it is. It's a nice bright silver, kind of bluish too, which is what I wanted to go for. So we'll see how this goes on, and hopefully it'll give us enough coverage. I think metallics aren't as difficult as, you know, lighter colors like that. What was it, ivory that I was using? Yeah, that ivory on the Devout. Oh, I should put the light a little lower. The turntable is solar, so it's not getting a bright. If it's not getting a bright shot of light, it starts to slow down. I think it's stopped. Are we my little green screen scraping? Maybe. Let's see here. There they go. Yeah, they were just stuck on the side, I think. All right. So yeah, so these guys have a lot of, a little bit thinner than that. A lot of chainmail. Oh yeah, this is a nice bright metallic. Yeah, there's some little flaws and things on the texture that I wasn't sure how to cut off, cut that off without putting big gouges. So I left a lot of that. Yeah, seams and things in chainmail are tricky because the pattern is, it's really easy to tell when you've scratched at it. You basically have to repair the pattern, not just clean it up. Oh, Miguel, hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you. Yeah, with the washes, it wasn't, I didn't have a lot of, a large span of time to do it. I was just kind of doing it throughout the day. So I figured I may as well do it off camera and then get these guys started. Because things start this week. Yeah, so tomorrow, yeah, 28th is tomorrow, so Tuesday the campaign starts, so I gotta figure out is that okay light wise? Because I moved that lamp down so it's a little it's not as bright. I gotta hit up Chris after work and try these rules out. Oh, and if you are a member of the Facebook group for Chronopia, I saw that Martin posted the demo rulebook for that group. So as a treat, because that's only available right now in the demo pack. So he posted the QR code from the printed rulebook that'll link you to the PDF. I believe it's a PDF. It's a Google. I think it's a Google Drive with a PDF. So if you would like to check out the rules early, I don't think it's not the full rules, but it's got a lot of the conditions and stuff. I think kind of all the things that are going to go into the basic game. Maybe nothing super advanced, because there aren't any cavalry units or anything in the demo box. But yeah, that's nice and bright. That will work. And this paint is nice and thin. I would worry with a chainmail, this delicate lead belcher would just clog it up. Yeah, especially my old pot of lead belcher, and it's not the look. That's kind of a dark and heavy. Let's try this again. There we go. Heavy metal look. So yeah, not exactly what these elves look like. So when they got something lighter and bluer. There we go. So yeah, I don't even know, like, wash wise, if I want to go very dark. Maybe I'll actually do a watered down Nuln oil or something. Although Nuln oil, that's hard to say. Nuln oil is pretty green, so maybe I'll just do the glaze and we'll see how that looks. Because yeah, this isn't going to need any like staining or weathering or anything. I want this to be as bright as possible. So we'll just do a little bit of the blue glaze to add the tones. Yes. Nice. Oh yeah, these are this is live. There's my finger right there. So yeah, if you guys want to see, actually here, if you want to see any of these guys up close, they're just spinning around over there. Yeah. Yeah, I went a little crazy with the staining of the robes. They're pretty filthy. But they've probably been wearing them for the entire campaign, so filthy devout robes. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd want to go back and like do highlights on the robe to bring back that ivory color a little bit more. But yeah, they're grungy enough. I was starting to get into a more chaos looking. Oh, and this guy too, the cursed. He's pretty dingy. I didn't bring up any of his other colors after the washes, and he's got both a black and a brown kind of wash on him. So I wanted him to look as crusty as possible. And a little bit of the gold on his the little symbols on the cape. But yeah, they came out okay, and they'll look okay for the come on. There we go. My green screen keeps hitting the turntable. All right, let's keep going here. Yes, those filthy devout. Yeah, I definitely want to clean up those robes. There's a little bit more here. But that's one of those things I can do at a later date. Yeah, and I was talking about that too. The way I paint, especially, I just have to kind of call it done, because it's just like this endless cycle of fixing and making mistakes. So I could just, if I got real perfectionist, I could just keep doing it forever. Like a Sisyphusian trap of constantly repainting parts of models. Oh yeah, actually this is all going to be silver, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll keep the chain. I don't know. Maybe chain would look better darker. Yeah, because this is definitely plate. Yeah, this is very silver. These are almost as silver as the other guys. As the devout, they were all plated up. It must have been laundry day for the dark ones. So all the robes they're wearing their filthiest robes. All right. Yeah, I liked. I made them a lot brighter too. The devout, especially the followers, are a lot brighter. Their armor looks a lot cleaner than I thought I was going to do. I was looking at that illustration. I really wanted to darken everything, but I was worried we'd lose too much detail. So only the cursed is dark and grungy looking. Oh yeah, it's another thing. The Pauldrons, I think. What if I want to do gold accents on those? That might be a nice variety and kind of set that color off a little better. The whichever blue I go with, which I'm thinking might be the Space Wolves blue. And then I can always use a blue wash or something to bring it up a little bit. I don't know. I don't think I want too much gold on these guys, but yeah, I didn't think these are different enough from the illustration that I don't have a real solid image. So we'll just keep painting until we start liking how they look. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got some 3 times reading glasses on just to help me a little bit because I can't bring these as close to my face as I want because of the camera. So I'm doing a little assistance so that I'm not too blind. All right, other side of this. Yeah, so maybe the Pauldrons I'll start with a blue. Oh, what do you think of the rim of the base? It's a bronze. What is it? It's that warp. What is it? It's one of my favorite Citadel colors. Warplock bronze. Oh, here. It's one of my favorite Citadel metallics, and I did a Malifaux group like that, and I loved how it looks metal. It looks like a bronze base on a miniature. So I thought I'd repeat that with the Devout because I wanted to do something that contrasted the kind of dark gray black earth color that I did for the bases, and it looks pretty good. That's what I wanted to, the look I wanted to achieve, and I love how heavy and metallic it makes that look. It's very cool. Yeah, the shields too. They're gonna need maybe white symbol in the middle and then the blue around the symbol. Yeah, I'll probably go back. I'll have to come back and hit everything with more metallics, and we'll do the head of the spear silver for now and see how that looks. I think I'm going to have to put some red and gold on these guys just for variety, because this is going to be very blue silver. I'm not sure how too much of that is going to look. Yeah, but I want to stick with the color scheme, because if I do reds, then that's more obsidian. And if the blue is too green, then it looks more like Helios. So I want the crystal lotus to look crystal lotus-y. And what about the halves? Okay, let's do the ends here. And maybe wood for the shaft of the spear. Whoops. Oof. Yeah, maybe wood. I've got a couple of that wildwood is really good. Very exotic wood looking brown. That might work well. All right, and I think that's it. So I haven't decided what's going on with the Pauldrons yet. Another little piece of flash I missed. Oh, what about the borders and spikiness? That might be gold too. So gold on the Pauldrons, gold on the... Yeah, that might be okay. We'll see. Oh, there's a little more on the hip. Alright, there we go. I think I've hit everything so far. Any help? Yeah, because there's a lot of, in the illustration, it might just be for graphics sake, but there is a lot of brown and red on the spearmen, so we'll have to see. Alright, and then the kneeling one. Thank you, Unknown Girl. That was the first time I ever did that. I liked that deep bronze color. That made me really happy. So thought I'd try that trick again, because I don't think I'm playing that Malifaux gang ever again. I think in the latest version they're kind of useless. All right. We'll start with the spear. Look at these unbroken spears. I'm so amazed. I say that as I'm bending them with the brush. Actually, let's just get this cleaned up. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do on the... Oh, yeah, this has got some stuff that needed scraped as well, but I can't touch that pattern. It's too frightening, that chainmail. I don't want to take a knife to it. All right. Yeah, I can't. Well, I guess you can. There's like you can do stamps and things if you're doing sculpting in wax or green stuff or whatever. You can stamp some of these patterns, but it must be much easier to do this digitally. To get this much chainmail pattern. I can't imagine doing this by hand. And it's nice because you're putting on a 3D model, and you can make it flex, so it has a realistic way that it's bending around the body. You don't have to simulate that. It's actually, the computer will simulate it for you. It's pretty impressive. Oh, this chainmail's eating up a lot of paint though. All those little divots. All right. Oh, and the points were assigned to another post on the Chronopia Facebook was the points for the different sizes of battles. So I think Martin said compared to first edition that it was basically dividing by 5. So they're going to do much lower numbers for points. And I think because back in the 90s people liked 10,000 point armies and things like that. I think that was Warhammer started that, but yeah, I think 500 is the army level, or over 500, or that might be Grand Army level. But we'll see. Yeah, there weren't. There may have been. I don't think there were points in the demo book though. I'm just checking the cards real quick. No. Yeah, no points on these original cards, so they might be in the rule book. All right. And I got to get out of my way of my spinning army. Oh yeah, maybe I should have put a little label on the devout. Oh yeah. Yeah, black. I was really tempted because all the stuff in the painted models in the books, black looks really nice, and that's kind of a classic color. But yeah, I like that. If I go with that with all the devout, that'll tie things together. And I just wanted these to be very distinguishable. And I think I'm gonna end up buying these again. These aren't going to be, they may be, but they may not be the final models that I'm using. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot. I decided to go with the flesh. I can go back. There's not going to be any overlap. But I forgot I got to do his hands and arms because I went with the bare-handed elf motif there. Yeah, but black's nice and standard, and it really makes them stand out too on the mats. So probably a good idea. Yeah, I didn't want to do anything too ridiculous, and unless I have a theme or something for the army, but I didn't want to do anything too ridiculous. But I really remember loving that bronze, that Warlock bronze. And I used it for the axe. I wouldn't have even thought of it had I not gotten it out for the axe for the cursed. The axe blade didn't look great in that dark copper. I think it was a dark bronze from Game Color. It didn't look great. So yeah, I found the Warlock and did that blade, and then I thought, let's keep that around for the base. All right, so pretty close. Just his little cowl. Oh, this goes all the way back behind the shield too. All right. Yeah, we'll definitely. And Chris said that we should be brave and stream our learning game, which may be very good, very educational for people. So we won't even play a single game offline. Yeah, so this week, if I can catch Chris after work, we'll do our first game of new Chronopia. And hopefully things will be table ready enough. I just don't want to play unpainted. That's too humiliating. What was that? I think in the first edition when they did Age of Sigmar, they did some cheesy rule or some like a victory point, or yeah, some sort of. They're not using victory points, but they did some sort of rule for playing with painted models. I think they dropped that pretty quick, but trying to have a sense of humor. Ah, I just clipped his cheek. I knew I was getting too aggressive around the side of the head there. All right. Well, we'll try to cover that up in a minute. So I think that's all the silver. Yeah, I like this really bright kind of bluish for the chainmail. That's going to be leather. Maybe that as well. Yeah. Yeah, I got to find maybe some nice weird metallic blue or something. See if I have some, or even like a fluorescent kind of blue for their stones to make those really stand out on their belts. And then there's one in the spear too. That would look cool to have those really brilliant. Okay, so well, let's just keep going. I'll definitely remember. How could I ever forget to go back and do his hands? Let's make sure. I just don't want to switch from metallics while I got this going. Okay, so on him, I think we'll just do everything with a coat of silver that reads as armor. Although look how ornate it is. I'm going to have to, I don't know, pick some of that out so that it works. But everything on his torso, I think we're going to call at least some level of metallic armor. Yeah, these are definitely like scales here. That down the front. But on his limbs, I think that's just, leather or fabric. Let's see. So he's got this cape that we're going to have to figure out what to do with. Oh, his arm here is definitely shirted. There's ripples of fabric on that. So whatever we do with the rest of his body, we can color those. Oh, yes, secondary. Yeah, you would have a hard time, especially just the money spent on 40K models is hard enough. If you're gonna enforce a painted or lose to an army because it's painted. Yeah, they're just trying to be cute. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I really love painted armies on tables, and I have a feeling that a lot of people don't. Sorry, just doing the sword here. A lot of people don't paint their armies, so their resale value is higher. But it doesn't probably hold up once the company switches materials and things. So if you've got a bunch of unpainted white metal, 40K, I don't think you're going to do well reselling that. But I have this creepy feeling some of the people I know that don't paint their armies are just doing it because then they can sell them for a higher price if they get bored or realize they don't play anymore. Oh yeah, there's a lot of gems on him. Jeez. Yeah, so there's fur trim on this cape too. I'll have to go back and look at the illustration, but I don't think it's going to tell me much. I might do some purple or something on him. Nothing too crazy. I think the jewels in the illustration are purple, but do something to pick out all those really cool details. All right, and there's little slippers here. Yes. Yeah, I can get things to like the flats or the basic colors and a wash on them pretty well. But there's always these things that I want to do. I want to add. I want to do things that never end up happening. That goes all the way to here. Yeah. And when you're talking, large scale armies, it's so repetitive. Sometimes I bought in to 8th edition Warhammer. We split that box, the Dark Imperium box, and I went Death Guard and painted. So it means we split 2 boxes so that we had double, and that gave me like 40 poxwalkers. And I spent forever painting poxwalkers. And they're entertaining models, but that's a lot of the same. I mean, I'm sure orc players laugh at how weak that sounds. 40. But it seemed like it took forever. And I was trying to, because I had duplicates, I was trying to swap heads and arms and stuff and give it some variety. All right. I guess we'll go with his little helmet too in silver. Oh, right. Yeah, Imperial Guard. That's right. Yeah. I knew I sounded amateur. And then once I fielded them, I couldn't make the poxwalkers do anything very interesting. I guess I did keep. They are good for if you string them out along the backfield. They're good for preventing deep strike. But other than that, because they don't have a save really, unless you've got unless they're buffed. I mean, I'm sure the rules have changed 100 times since I played last, but they were definitely a chaff unit. I didn't field them particularly well, so all that painting felt felt crazy. Yeah, I can't imagine 200 Imperial Guard. That's nuts. I guess orcs too. I guess like you want like 60. You can do like 60 boys or something per unit. So that must get excessive. A lot of green, a lot of endless green, and then Imperial Guard, it's all like khaki or oh no, I guess it's the yeah, both khaki and the military green, the olive. All right, so there's this. I don't know what I'm doing with all these gems. Yeah, I might change my mind about what the sword's gonna look like, but for right now, we'll just base everything silver. All right. Yeah, this is the only thing. I like how light and bright everything stays with Wrathbone, but it's almost white. So you've got that white painting over white problem where sometimes things that are just shiny end up looking, things that are still shiny wet end up looking white, or yeah, it's hard to tell when you're actually done. Okay, so that's a lot of metal on him, but I think that's everything. Let's do this heal. And I don't think there's a lot of metal on the archer, so I think we're pretty close to done. Yes, that's right. Tabled on turn 1. Excellent. Yeah, I played Blood Angels the first time I played. My Death Guard was against a very experienced Blood Angels player, and it was pretty brutal. Although I did take some elite units down with me just because of maybe Death Guard hadn't been nerfed yet, so they were pretty effective, because they were the new hotness. So always the rules are stupid, and then they get FAQ'd out of there. All right, I'm not sure what to do with this guy. Yeah, he's going to be the hardest because here's his art. So it's, yeah, a lot of blue, there's purple gems, and a little bit of gold detail. So we'll have to go back and see if that's how that's going to go. Okay, so she's got chainmail sleeves, and then maybe her crest will do silver. We can always go back over it if gold reads better, but I think I'm going to give her kind of blondish hair, kind of honey colored hair, so silver will probably be better because they're kind of like wings. Yeah, come on. And there's a gem, it looks like, too. All right. Okay, I think I've hit that almost enough. Oh, it goes around her face. All right. And yeah, then all of this be silver. Just keep it off of her arms. Come on, I lost the point. Sorry, yeah, she keeps hiding. At least she stays in focus. I killed the autofocus. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, there's some stuff I gotta. Some detail. Whoop, Mike just swung away from me. Yeah, there's some details I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Everything can't just be silver. All right. Alright, yeah, I hope that blue, we'll try that grayish blue, but if that like just gets lost with all this chainmail, then that might not work. And the glaze that I'm thinking about using may clash as well. So we'll see. I hope I have something that will work, because I don't want to have to go buy paint before the next time. Alright. Yeah, if I was really obsessive, I would have been looking at those 3D renders and plotting a palette long before this ever showed up. These models ever showed up. But I didn't. Yeah, I'm starting to feel more and more that I'm not obsessive compulsive enough to have a hobby. There's so many things that keep people motivated that are just, I think, neurodivergence. All right. Yeah, so that, oh, I'm going too far. That chest is silver. We'll do it silver. Although it probably, because it's got a ton of leather straps on it, so yeah, I think that'll look nicer though. And against the skin, that cool silver looks really good. Right against the skin. Yeah, because it's going to be a lot of brown. I don't know, but I think on the card. Oh no, it's silver. All right, so that's all brown. That's all I don't know. These are all, I think this whole, her boots up the middle there, there's going to be some kind of buckle or something there. I can do that later though. I don't know what that is yet. So let's get the hilt of the sword. And the bow is wood. Oh yeah, there's buckles there too. Oh, maybe her. Yeah, the shoes. Yeah, maybe we'll do the metal toes like the other ones. I think that looks pretty good. The sharp metal toe out from under the leather should look good. Alright, yeah, there's going to be some other stuff. That's all leather straps. That's all leather. I think we're good. Yeah, she didn't have too much. Actually, let's do the whole scabbard for the sword, and then we can go back and change our minds. Maybe even do some gold detail or something. Alright. That's a pouch. Alright. Cool. So, yeah, now it's time to decide on that blue. point on this brush. Almost. All right. So it's actually a pretty big area, so we'll keep using this. So let's give, first do the skin that I missed on the other spearman. All right. Which one? This guy. All right. Yeah, so we went with the bare-hander. So I've got some fingers and that elbow spot. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what would be a better flesh shade. The Elves, the Reichland flesh shade, I think, is kind of orangey. Right, I can't remember. I'll have to take a look at what I have. So I don't want them to be too orange. You know, too warm color. Although that does contrast with the chainmail. Nice. Anything warm would be good. Alright, so we'll call this skin. Yeah, because it could be, that definitely could be like muscle, sinew. Like flexing his arm. So, yeah, I think that's what that is. Wow. Yeah. Oh, that was a mess. Like, oh, it was off camera. That's good. Yeah, I blobbed a big. I missed completely. Let's see if the other elbow goes better. I'm just trying to smooth out that little piece of skin. Oh, that's all the way, yeah. Alright. Okay, well that went a little better. Oh, that's right, and I wanted to fix his cheek. Oh, wow. It actually covered. There we go. No silver cheek. But a lot of flesh color on that chainmail. Alright. So, let's try... Yeah, let's try the Space Wolves, the contrast paint, and see how that reads. If it just looks gray, that's going to look pretty shabby against the... I guess we'll start with him. He's drier. Alright. So see if I get all... Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty blue. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's not bad. Is it enough of a contrast with the chainmail? Yeah, I might not actually do much with the chainmail if I go with this. I don't know. It's a nice blue. Kind of steely blue, but with all of this up against all this chainmail. I don't know. I think the sky blue that I have will just look crazy. Yeah, this is kind of monotone. Shoot. It's not looking very sharp. Actually, this might be a good wash for the chainmail. Might be better as a wash for the chainmail than as a color. Yeah, it's really, really light. That's why it's a gray, because it kind of by the time it's dry, it is just going to be gray. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, maybe that on top of the chainmail, though, is a nice look, although they're different. Oops, sorry, they're different colors. Yeah, that's not going to work. Hey, Hypno, how's it going? Oh, unknown girl, thank you. Did I miss a hand? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, I had to go back and get all the spearman's hands that I forgot. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not a very good contrast. It's not making me super satisfied like that red on that cloak. That was so perfect. So the other option, unless we want to do this greenish, the greenish one, although I think we should stay away. Yeah, so I have this blue. Sorry. So this blue, which is kind of a greenish turquoise. Sorry. It's more of an aquamarine. Or I have this blue, which is a really brilliant bright blue, which might be good for Crystal Lotus. And we can tone it down as well. Yeah, I don't have any good examples, but let's try this on the other spearman and see which one makes the most sense. All right, Miguel votes Telisar. I think that's gonna have to be the one because it's gonna really stand out. Oh yeah, it looks really good against the chainmail too. Look at that. It's such a bright blue. But these are Crystal Lotus elves, so it's not like they're gonna be. Yeah, a muted color is kind of silly. Yeah, that's much better. All right. Yeah, so shields and everything will really stand out. Actually, wait a minute. Let me make sure I got this shaken enough because it sometimes doesn't work as well if it's not got all of its components mixed up. There we go. Just want to be careful not to drench this chainmail. All right, yeah, some of it's pulling away. I think that's lack of primer. I don't know. All right, I'll have to go back and touch up some of this stuff. Yeah, that's blue. It looks really nice. So it flows, flows really nice. It's a real heavy pigment, so especially like on the spear, it's gonna look good. So I'll just do some gold and red accents to break up all this blue, but it will feel very cold, so that's good. Oop, some of that off of there. All right. Yeah, that'll work. And so then the shield as well. So this area of the shield, we'll want to make blue. And then I'll just touch up, because I want that to be pretty brilliant white, but I'll touch that up with something. But it's nice, I've got a good millimeter of standout on that symbol, so it's easy to paint around. And I guess just silver for the edge. Yeah, that's brilliant blue. That looks good. I have to think about my firstborn color palette now. I'm gonna go that. Ew, nice. Yeah, that works. And we'll do the same thing with the pauldron. This is not standing up quite as much, so I think it's going to be harder to paint around, but still. Nice. Yeah, that's nice. That ties ties them together. Well, it looks like a actual uniform. Yeah. Good choice, Miguel. Yeah, super bright. Yes. I know I'm painting, dangerously painting around that brittle little piece of resin. All right. There we go. Sorry, I'm off camera, but this is going to take forever to cover up if I fuck up around that symbol. So there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should do for washes, because I want to keep these guys as clean and bright as possible, so maybe very minimal. Alright, that's all leather, I guess. That's the shield. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Wow, that is bright. Oh, there's another little part that pulled away down here. All right. Yeah, that is brilliant blue. Okay, so the space wolves are dry, so we'll just get rid of that. Yeah, that's a much nicer contrast. And it's a contrast paint. Alright. Yeah, that's a nicer look against the chainmail. That steely blue is nice, but not against so much silver. Alright. Yeah, I don't think... I guess the archer, yeah, she can be... she doesn't need to be hidden, so she can be bright blue too. But have to be... And I think certain units want to be this screaming blue color to draw attention to themselves. Oops. There we go. All right. Oops. Not as clean as the last one, but it should be fine. Oh yeah, another little crack in the primer. That's weird. I think it was kind of a cold, wet day when I primed, so I had a little bit of a weird reaction. Some of the primer cracked a little bit. It's split. Maybe the model flexes a little bit too, so I don't know. I haven't worked with resin enough to know. But it almost looks like I took and bent the model the way the cracks in the primer appeared, so maybe the model flexed a little bit in some temperature or something. So I know I wasn't bending them. All right. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was going to do the fan bracers too in the blue. Yeah, let's see this little spot on the bracers. Yeah, looks good. Blue. Yeah, the back of the shields, I guess everything will be silver. And back here. All right. And then the fabric on the spear. Ah, Lydian yellow. Yeah, to try to paint bright yellow. Right. Yeah, I noticed that it really, the Corax White or the Wrathbone are the only ways to get the really brilliant color out of some of the contrast paints. Otherwise, they're kind of dull or almost like totally different colors. That's why I went bright with the Elves, because I wanted to get some of the bright colors, and I wanted to make sure the chainmail didn't look too grim dark, that it had a nice bright metallic look to it. So I thought white would help make it, yeah, it's not going to look super heavy, but it's nice and bright. All right. Yeah, I got to play around with the camera setup at the office so we can have make a nice recording, you know, for the live stream. I want it to look good. Our Frostgrave was just a single camera kind of above us, and I don't think that's a great setup. So maybe a couple cameras on like table edges and stuff, and do like a split screen as well as an overhead. We'll see. All right, there's a lot of blue. And yeah, I didn't get his bracers. Hope everyone's doing good this morning or this evening. Yeah, the Warhammer shop when contrast paints came out, they had that whole sample board. I took a bunch of photos because they had every one of the colors. There's more that were released since that original launch, but they had all the colors and with all the different primers. So the gray seer, the Rathbone, and then Corax White. So I kept that as a reference on my phone because yeah, there's a huge difference with some of the colors over gray. They don't look like that, the same color at all. All right, blue, blue, blue. Guess I'll switch to brown soon. Oh wait, is there blue on him? Possibly. I can't tell what I want to do. Yeah, I guess all the fabric can be blue for him. Oh, is that too much though? Let me see. If I can bring it down. And then what color is his cape? Ah, jeez. Here it looks black. Like maybe a dark purple for the cape. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do blue, and then I can, if this is too much, I can bring it down with some heavy washes. And then we'll do some kind of purple with fur for the cape. And then there's a bunch of kind of purple gems on his armor. Okay. A flamboyant Lotus guard. Yeah, I don't know about washes. Oh, maybe down the middle here is a different color as well. It looks like he has jeans. Great. I try to make all my worst mistakes off camera. So all of this. Yeah, I think I've got a purple contrast that might work. Yeah. I'm not sure about that fabric though. I think there's a full size of that illustration on the Facebook. Let me check that real quick. Let this brusher rest. Oof. Oh, nice. Oh, you're very welcome. Is this Martin? Who am I talking to? Who's chatting? Yeah, this is really fun. I really am enjoying seeing how these models look, and this gives people a nice up close. I see. Yeah, let me just scroll down. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, purple. Oh, and like a lighter color purple. Yeah, there's a great full-size piece of ours. Yeah, so a lot of purple detail and leather on the boots. So I think some of that silver is going to go. Yeah, really great artwork for the book. I'm glad they could find artists. I'm sure Coman has Adrian Smith all tied up, probably for decades with all of their game projects. All right, yeah, let's do some leather now. Oh wait, no, we still have our archer. Yeah, we'll do this. Actually, should we give her some purple as well, or just blue? Yeah, because you'll have the fabric here and here. Yeah, I think just the blue will work. Oh, I missed some skin. There's a little tiny piece between those belts. Well, let's try to catch that. I got my wet palette still has some flesh on it, so I like all the strappy skin on her. This is really nice sculpt. Oh, jeez. It's just a little tiny piece, and I don't want to kill it with an overloaded brush. There we go. Oh, and maybe here too. Wow. Yeah, there was one other little spot. I thought that was all straps overlapping, but no, that's there's only two. All right. So we'll do blue. Yeah, all of this fabric, and then switch to leather. Oh, Patrick. Oh, hello. Excellent. Yeah, we haven't talked about it. Yeah, nice to meet you, Patrick. I appreciate you dropping in on the chat. Yeah, I'm really excited that Chronopia is back, so I want to support you guys, and I appreciate you also sending us a demo kit in Japan. That's a rarity. A lot of companies will they'll spring for PDFs through the email to Japan, but the English-speaking community appreciates your supporting us, so we want to make sure everybody knows about what you're doing on our channel. All right. Yeah, and hopefully this will be inspirational, showing people it's not going to be that hard to get a starter box painted. Because I've done it, I'll probably have it done in just a few days. So we'll be playing soon. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm finding all the right pieces. Yeah, there's an edge here. Yeah, it's kind of like a tassel or an edge to this fabric that might be a different color. Yeah, maybe that was where we can get that purple in. Maybe that lighter purple that we'll use for his cloth. Okay. Yeah, that blue is brilliant blue. Yeah, like I was saying, my memory of it is like Caribbean ocean blue. This has to be a lizard men, seraphim color for a Warhammer, because it is bright. There we go. Oh, geez. Yeah, I hit that sword pretty hard. Nice. And then underneath, try to pull some of that off the top. Yeah, this looks really, really good. This pose is gonna stand out much more now with all the parts, kind of picked out with the colors. She's not going for camouflage though with this blue. I think she's gonna be easy to spot from a long way away. All right. Yeah, I don't think there's This is probably the best in the contrast range. This probably is the best blue. So I don't think they are going to make anything that'll look good against the chainmail. Sorry. It's just starting to warm up for spring here, so the pollen is getting out of control. Japan has a horrible amount of yellow cedar trees. So there's a lot of very irritating pollen in the springtime. I've never had a pollen allergy before, so it took some took a few years to live here, and then I developed one because it's inescapable. All right. So I apologize if I sniffle or cough during the live stream. I'll try to keep it away from the mic as much as possible. All right, so I think that's going to be our color. Yeah, I'm trying to think the color of the wash, like what I want to do, because I don't want this blue to get pushed into a another color. I think that brightness is nice, so we'll see. Okay, so let's switch to leather. So again, the snakebite leather it's got to be one of my favorite colors in this range. Oh, Miguel, thank you. I'm so glad you're in chat. Yeah, a purple wash on that is going to look excellent, and especially because the purple that I do for the cloak may not, that'll tie those two colors together. Yes, thank you so much. That's a great idea. Purple instead of doing like a brown or a black. That will be, yeah, that'll be excellent. Okay, so, we got straps and belts. I guess I'm going to chicken out and go with a, a finer brush. So it's going to take longer, but hopefully I'll make fewer mistakes. There we go. Yeah, and this will break up the coolness of the color palette so far too. Yeah, purple wash, that's brilliant. All right, let's go brown with all of this. That'll give us a lot of variety visually. So all of this. Yeah, it looks nice against that blue. Oh, and there's one strap cutting across the shoulder. Yeah, this is a nice contrast to the all that blue and silver. And it continues. All right. Yeah, that's a nice variety. Wow, I think that's it. Yeah. So just that big belt, the strap over the shoulder, and then that one on the thigh. Oh, and actually I'm going to do the boots as well. Do these leather so you can actually see them. I think I actually managed, forget what it was, but to do some metallics that actually had some nice contrast against each other, but I think leather will look better for these boots. And there's a plate on top of this one. Or maybe it's a strap. I think it's a strap. There we go. Yeah, so you can see the contrast a little bit better. All right. The green screen for the Devout, it looks like a American Bandstand or something, you know, when they use the green screen and there's like dancers in a corner. Nice. All right. Yeah, I think that'll be just enough. So the other spearman. So we'll do the big belt. It's got a lot of detail on it that we might have to go back. These elves and their ornate accessories. Yeah, I really want to find something. I've got a red, like the technical paint that's like a really, oh, I can show you that actually. On the Devout, I used it for the stones on their shields, on the followers' shields, but I can show you the show you that kind of glossy thing that Citadel did for their technical paints. I think it's for the Eldari Soul Stones or whatever those are called. Oof. But maybe I'll need another color. A purple would be nice. I don't know if Eldari has purple stones, or I think they have just red and blue. But a purple would be really nice for that glossy stone color. So here, let me show you really quick. I don't know how well it'll pick up on camera, but you see the stone in the middle of that cross. It's kind of glossy and like it's just like a gel glossy looking thing. So that's the technical paint for the stones. I thought it would work okay for that, and yeah, it'll be good on the elves too. But I don't think red is too Obsidian house, the Obsidian Serpent. So maybe blue would be better, blue or purple. Oh. There we go. Off camera is where all my biggest disasters happen. Okay. We'll go across the chest here. And there's some kind of buckles that we're going to have to retouch. But it'll be better just to get the whole strap one nice long stroke. So that looks like all the leather. Oh, and then the boots again. Nice. Also, Unknown Girl says, shows on YouTube, a muted sound at the very bottom to try to avoid copyright. Was it a good idea to show the previous ones like that, though? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. I've seen all kinds of crazy attempts to. Oh, the latest one, people are putting movies, and it's not even movies. I think it's movies that they might not even be actively, a studio or something doesn't actively have the rights, so they wouldn't actually be protecting them very much. But to prevent anything from identifying them, like every 10 seconds or maybe just under 10 seconds, they skip ahead a little bit so that especially the audio won't be able to be identified. And that makes you so nervous. It's a really like weird, nerve-wracking way to watch something where just every so often like it just jumps and very regularly. So it just makes you really irritated and nervous to see that again. I don't think that's really worth the trouble. Here we go. So what are we doing? Is that all going to be silver, or are we doing gold? We'll make that decision later. I can't figure out. Oh, so he doesn't really have any leather, does he? Oh, the boots. I think his boots are the biggest part. So yeah, maybe we'll do this leather as well. So just the details kind of stand out. Oh yeah, that looks good. So now I've got to find a good purple. Yeah, I forget what I actually bought that original contrast. Oh, maybe Gene Stealers. Chris gave me his box of Gene Stealers from first edition Kill Team. And they were primed, but not painted. Anything else look like leather on this guy? Not right now. Yeah, so I wonder what that fur, maybe like a black fur trim. Yeah, we'll see. And then our archer. Yeah, it gets confusing too, right? Because it'll cut. It just like I think they just do it automatically, so it cuts in the middle of dialogue and everything, so you can't even tell what's going on. All right. It's funny how many different generations of that we've gone through. Ways to try to get around copyright on YouTube. I remember the little tiny frame. There'd be like a movie, and in the corner, like 25% of the frame is the actual video being shown. And then the ones where they darken the contrast, or they lower the contrast and darken the brightness so much you can barely see it, but maybe it doesn't pick up when they're scanning for the actual video. It's just enough to screw up how they're detecting it. It's so funny. People waste so much energy doing that. All right. Whoops. Gotta get my elbow in a better spot here. Oh, that's right. She's got her gloves too. And the boots. Wow, she's got a lot more leather. Yeah. I'm still so confused about how Netflix decides what they are going to cancel and what they're going to renew. It doesn't make any sense. they they only, and it's probably just because since they're based on subscribers, they just need something to get you to subscribe, and hopefully there's something else to keep you there, but they don't need to keep paying for that show. Even if it's the reason that you're there, you may stay anyhow. So that's very frustrating to see because they don't give things a chance at all. It must be really nerve wracking too to negotiate with them when you know that their motivations are very different from how regular TV or anybody else is thinking about programming because it's subscribers. And I wonder if they actually share. Sorry. She is very shy. Always off camera. I wonder if they actually share with their creators the numbers, like how well you did, like, equivalent of like ratings or box office, or if that's their negotiating, leverage is you could tell them whatever you want because only you know the real number. All right. Oh, there's a little pouch on her side. Yeah, snakebite is great because even these, as long as they've got detail on them, just like little pouches and little parts of accessories look really nice, and all the detail just jumps out when you just hit them with a little bit of this. All right, I'm going to touch up her leg. Oh, and straps on her back too. Oops. Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. All of the international versions of Netflix, the Japanese Netflix is so strange. They have some, Bollywood and all kinds of like random things because there would be audience for it. I'm sure there's a lot of like tech workers and stuff in Japan that yeah, it's just really strange. There's so much foreign language stuff, and sometimes it doesn't have English subtitles, so you can because it was never intended for like English speaking parts of the world. So that's really. Oh, sorry, she is so shy. But I can't get what I'm painting on camera very well either because it's under all this fabric. All right. Uh, yeah, but I really like the guys that are doing Chronopia. It was so nice. I got in touch with them and said, I know it's a week before your Kickstarter launches, but do you have time for an interview? And they're like, yeah, of course. It was like so gracious and so yeah, and really fun to talk to. Very personable. So I hope their project does great because they deserve some good success with this, and it's such a great property that's been gone for too long. So we'll see what the world thinks though. Man, that hellscape of comments on a Kickstarter is not ever easy to deal with. I think there are people that pledge $1 just so they can cause trouble in the comment sections. All right, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, this color for leather is really nice. Let's move the sole of the boot. Yeah. Yeah, that looks really great though. So the really strappy details on this. Yeah, Snakebite does really good with that kind of detail. You can see every single strap and they're all very pronounced and have a really nice dark dark. The recesses are all nice and dark, and the leather part's nice and worn looking. All right, like that. That's nice too. There's some little scenic details on this base. She's standing on a couple of rocks. It's nice because it elevates her too. That's a nice detail. Yeah, it's almost become a trope now for Games Workshop, for other like captain figures or whatever. Any of their like elites, they're always got one foot up on a rock. They're like raising one knee in almost all of their poses. It's really bizarre that's becomes so standard. Okay, so there's one more strap down there. So now we're going to start making some. Oh, actually, we got purple still. Yeah. Okay. There we go. What else is leather? So actually, yeah, that's metal, right? That's not leather on her shoulder. Yeah, it's different. It is definitely a metal armor on her shoulder, but that actually could be folded leather. We'll leave it silver for now. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. I can't. I don't. I'm really sad that Christopher Tolkien passed relatively recently, because yeah, it seems like the Tolkien estate is not gonna protect that amazing work as much as they should be. I was just I mean, the internet is going crazy. Certain parts of the internet are having fun picking on that stuff, but the that latest whatever it was, like a convention or a I can't think of the word, but yeah, all the scholars, all the Tolkien scholars meeting, and all of the crazy interpretations of the work just to make it. I guess though, something that's been around for that long, the scholarship, you got to make your name. You got to come up with a wacky interpretation of a classic work to have something to do your dissertation on. But it's pretty brutal. But I won't ask you, Miguel, too much. I don't want you to get so upset this late at night. Right, so I think I will do a really dark wood. There's that wild wood will be really nice for the bow. Oh, there's probably leather around that grip, isn't there? Yeah, there is. Just when I thought I found all the leather. So here. Yeah. yeah, I don't know what it does. I can't understand. It's either, you know, super guilty producers that are, trying to be super inclusive as a big virtue signal, or it is a really, really cynical uh, kind of preemptive move towards a big demographic shift, and they think that they've figured out, how to catch the audience of the future. I don't know. It's very depressing. What's going on with some of these classic? All right. Yeah, I think that's good. Classic properties. Okay, so let's take a look at the purple that I have. Oh, it's the Magus purple. It might be pretty bright. I may have something else. No, I think this is it. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, this will be the purple. But I've got a purple wash too that we can use to tone down, or to kind of tie the blue in. Yeah, so let's try this on the cape and see how it goes, and then we'll just do a non-contrast paint, a lighter purple for that fabric. But let's see how this goes. Oh, hey, Abyss. Yeah, the recent stuff is so... I don't understand, because the whole appeal... It's very interesting, because the whole appeal of Star Trek is very rational people confronting ethical and very ethical, moral, and very difficult. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Dilemmas, and very rationally, without emotion, finding the best course of action and having an open discussion about things. And now Star Trek is all emotion and just these fits of like characters just being killed in these fits of rage, these emotional outbursts that people just disintegrate other characters. There's so much murder and bizarre freakouts by a lot of the characters. It's very, very odd. But I guess that was like watching a lot of those old, really old Red Letter Media like Plinkett reviews about the TNG movies. I think I've seen almost all of them, but just kind of like randomly. And maybe we'll just go. Oh no, inside here too. Yeah, they leaned heavily into like weird action and stuff. Maybe not like crazy emotion, but even the Star Trek movies, even the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies were just like Spock pummeling someone in the face. Oh, that was Khan, wasn't it? Yeah, just pummeling Khan in the face and screaming. So bizarre. Yeah, I don't know what they think they're doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna do like contrast will be fine here. I'm gonna do multiple layers of this on the cloak and get it a little darker. I'll just do this. Sorry, I'm totally off camera. Yeah, but I don't understand. And it's so funny because I love the 2D20, the Modiphius 2D20 Star Trek RPG really made me want to play more Star Trek, and especially like the original series. And I just saw they released a source book for Discovery. Like, who is going to be playing that? Like, what is what kind of player would be attracted to just like you'd have to be crying and screaming all session and then just murdering people or drinking. There's a lot of alcoholism too. So what else was I gonna do? I think that was the only purple, wasn't it? Oh, maybe her tassels. Yeah. Yeah, right, right. Yeah, that's true. Just the yeah, it just seems so lazy. So much of what's going on is just really, really lazy. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I won't go into it. I'll go into it with Chris when you guys can hear kind of both sides of stuff. But we had a really fun discussion one time about just like race swapping Barbie and things like that, and how kind of lazy and meaningless that is. It doesn't do anything. Like, you can see it as, some kind of virtue signal or some kind of, equity or something, but it's meaningless. It has no positive effect. Um, and yeah, maybe I'm sure something will bring that up on the weekly one of these weeks again, but that's an interesting discussion. And if you really want to do something meaningful, it takes a lot more work than just making Superman black or Asian or whatever. Or Hulk. Yeah, Incredible Hulk became Korean, right? Yeah, it's very odd. Yeah, and Picard's team is a band of murderers. That's true. That was the to even like them. Yeah, your point is really good. There's no reason to even like them. Um, that's what I noticed very much about. I was watching I think I made it through the first two episodes of the Critical Role uh, animated series, and the characters even at a certain point, I think it's the second episode, they say, "Yeah, we're just a bunch of assholes, so nobody likes us." Like, that's that's what they're going for. As far as the characters called themselves a bunch of assholes that nobody likes. It's like, so why should I like you if you even think you're an asshole and don't know why people want to have anything to do with you? But it's so weird that the character said that, and just like, yeah, that's what's wrong with the writing here. That's what's wrong with these characters, is they don't have any reason for you to. I mean, you can be an asshole, but there has to be something compelling about a character and why you would care about what happens to them. But it was really funny when they actually just said that in the series. Yeah, right. That's right. Discovery is just the murder hobo edition of Star Trek. Oh, that's so sad too, because the whole system is like kind of penalizes you for being violent. So meaningless. Yeah, it's really weird, and I guess they think that like that's what people want to see. That's really mysterious. Okay, let's do some golden hair for the elf here. Let's see if this works. I think this should look nice with that blue. Oh yeah, yeah. This should look pretty good against the silver and then with the blue. All right. I think for the Lotus guard, I just want to do like a white. Maybe I'll try to use the contrast white, because it'll give me a little, gray shading. Yeah, this works. Yeah, this is a nice warm kind of honey color. Oh, and it's right on the breastplate too. All right. I think that's pretty close to everything. Yeah, maybe here. Oh yeah, that looks better than I even thought it would. Yeah, that's nice with the blue and right against that silver. Cool. Oh, take care, Abyss. Yeah. Thanks so much for stopping by. I definitely agree with you. It's a heartbreaker that there's no good. I heard somebody say online that that last episode of Enterprise was the last real Star Trek that we're probably ever going to see before it was canceled. I like Star Trek, the Murder Hobo edition. The thing is, it is okay to change them to make things different, but if they do it for all the wrong reasons, and yeah, it is good on the actors' side that they can even get more roles than it. Yeah. Hollywood. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's a good point. Actors getting more roles. Yeah, very true. Oh, sorry. Bye, Miguel. Uh, that's right. Oh, sorry. Miguel is uh, hitting the hay. Sorry about that. Take it easy, Miguel. Thank you so much for stopping by. And your advice, your color advice, has been invaluable. Thank you so much. Yeah, very very helpful with the color ideas. I think a purple wash on that blue is gonna help a lot. All right, so I think that's it. So let's try his hair then. Sorry. Yeah, I have no idea what time it is for everybody, so I'm not surprised that anybody says goodnight. All right, so where is my... Oh, here. Apothecary White. Yeah, look at this. That really needs shaken. So that's the kind of the dark tone you get, and that's kind of the light tone you get. But let me shake this up a little bit. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day of painting. Yeah, and I think it's only going to get worse as we get more and more of these media company mergers because, a lot of the decisions that come from the top down are just, just not good. Not good thinking. They're thinking about satisfying, I don't know, shareholders' guilt. Sorry about the shaking if this sounds really terrible on the stream. I'll try to do it a little bit further away from the mic. Yeah, for some reason this white really separates compared to the other colors. Well, okay, let's take another quick look because we could actually do a dark color for his hair, which is, I think, what the... Yeah, actually, maybe not. Maybe we won't do white. So you heard all that shaking for nothing. Yeah, the art looks like it's black hair. Huh, that might actually be a nicer contrast. Yeah, so it's only here. Yeah, maybe black hair. Yeah, white is kind of... Oh, is that silver on his face? A little bit. Yeah, white is kind of a little albino and cheesy looking for that, how light I did the skin color, sorry. How light I did the skin color. Maybe a dark hair color would be good. So I've got a couple of browns. Cygor brown is pretty nice. It's pretty rich, almost purpley. It's a little purple. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'll get the comments back up so I'm not missing anything. And then the bow and stuff. Oh, and then the this is a more orange. I think maybe the purple would be better. Yeah, this Gorgrunta fur is a little more orangey. and pretty bright. I think it's like a like more like a almost like a fox, like a dark fox fur color. Or maybe like a beaver color, man, maybe Cygor brown, but I've only got one shot at this because I can't really, I guess I could bring it back up to white, but yeah, let's see what Cygor brown is looking like. It's pretty dark. Yeah, but it'll contrast really nicely if it works. Oh, sorry. I was shaking the paint on camera. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, let's not do white. We don't want him to look like Dritz. But we'll try this, and I'll wipe it off if it really doesn't work. If there's not like a richness to it. Oh, it's just dark. Yeah, that's just black, isn't it? We're not getting like any highlights particularly. Let's see here. I'm gonna thin it out a little bit. Yeah, actually that works though, because it's not warm at all. It's not a warm brown. And I can do highlights on it as well too. Yeah, actually that looks good against the purple. Let's go with this. Oh, so is that all helmet? Yeah, maybe it is. So actually the hair is only in the back here. Yeah, sorry. So this is all helmet. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay, so I can't tell. Sorry, I'm bringing this up to my nose because I can't tell what is hair and what is not. There we go. Hey, Sad Lobster. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by to to watch me try to figure out. Oh yeah, get some of this excess off with a little tissue. Oh, that's much better. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just went a little crazy. There we go. Now we've got some highlight on that hair. So just whatever's left on the brush, let's try to finish his head off. There we go. Nice. Yeah, Lucas selling Star Wars. Yeah, it's definitely a huge warning. That's so funny too, that statement he made so quickly after that about sold his children to white slavers. It's like, ouch. Because he's always hated, the studio system and stuff, and just got really lucky to be able to work within it. But yeah, that's a really good point. Franchises make a lot of money. Yeah, and everybody wants to, because a lot of these companies like Embracer Group are grabbing up very cross-media stuff, like a comic book publisher, a video game, production house, a publisher, like a traditional publisher. So they're trying to, get a property and then cross a lot of different markets. Yeah, Unknown Girl, I could have tested it on something beforehand, but I'm living on the edge here. Now I think it's the best brown that I have for hair. I just went a little dark at the beginning, but see, we've got some highlights back, so it works. Yeah, just when I first put it on, it was not giving me any. Actually, I think that's leather on the front of his helmet. not giving me any range of color because it was a little bit too much paint. But we're better now. And I think I'm going to do a second coat on the cape, so it's a little darker. But yeah, why don't we do that now? So I think we're done. Nobody else has hair showing. Yeah, it would be logical to not ruin that white, but I don't think I wanted to do the keep his hair like silvery white. That's not. Oh yeah, that's too derivative looking or something. Oh, so we're gonna try to do another layer of this purple to darken things up just a little bit because it's a little bit in the pinky range here. Yeah, that's the nice thing about contrast is you can keep layering it up. And it eventually gets to the point though where you don't get much contrast between the colors. But you can get a darker effect. All right. Sorry, I'll jump back on the chat here just a sec. Yeah, so older and long-lasting fandoms having to accept the growing pains. Yeah, yeah. Marvel movies, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Those are, yeah, definitely, they want to get on that scheduled release. Oh, so the miniatures in the bottom left corner are the devout, so the other half of this box. So here, let me show you guys, for any of you guys that came here from other ways. So this is all for the new Chronopia. I don't want to break a spear with this box. So the new Chronopia, this is the demo set that they sent out, that Urwerk Verlag sent out. And so it's just four. So it's the 4 elves versus the 4 devout. So these are what's in the corner, the devout. And they're kind of like closest to the equivalent of chaos in Warhammer Fantasy. So I assembled these guys on stream and then painted these guys last night. The devout in the corner. These guys. And I will... yeah, try to get these guys painted up because we're going to play some demo games this week during the first week of the launch of the Kickstarter. All right. Yeah, so we're going to, just like with the Devout, we're going to probably be leaving these in this ugly state. It looks like it was painted in a Chinese factory. But yeah, washes and things do amazing, have amazing effects on okay, here we go. So this is kind of a black brown, but I think it'll look nice. Well, let's see, to contrast the, yeah, because the leather, I don't want a brown that's gonna look strange against that leather, so I think this wildwood will at least do her bow in wildwood, because it's a really dark, rich, almost black, black brown, and it contrasts nicely against that leather look. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll do the spears, the shafts of the spears this color too. That will make them unbreakable, I think. But oh, I got some missed fingers underneath. Okay, yeah, that looks, yeah, that always looks nice for wooden. Yeah, look how much that stands out. It's got really nice tones in it, and it's a cooler color than the leather, so the leather's kind of warm and yellow, and this is a nice contrast to that. Oh wow, there's carving, and this contrast paint might pick that out. Yeah, it does. There's carving that looks like symbols underneath the side of the bow. Let me just finish this. Let's see. Yeah, there were some really interesting, I don't know if you can see, really interesting markings on this side of the bow. So maybe there were some elven letters or something. That was really cool. Yeah, when this dries, we should be able to see them. There we go. Yeah, I like contrast paints too. I just wish they were cheaper because I'd like to have a bigger selection of them. But geez, it's a brutal there's a brutal price tag. Okay, so oh yeah, maybe the fletching on the arrows can be wildwood too. That's it's a really nice contrast. There we go. All right. Yeah, that works well. All right. So she's, yeah, mostly done. What is going on the back here? What is that? It's not her hair. Oh, is it a braid? No, it's not a braid. Yeah, I can't quite tell what that is. I've left it. I've left it just the primer color. Some kind of fur? Oh yeah, well, no, there's not fur. That's just a tassel. Yeah, it's weird. So this one shoulder has kind of the pauldron on it, the shoulder pad, and then this other, I guess that could be fur. Yeah, because there's something wrapping around. It's not on the illustration, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, illustration is much more simple. What is that? Well, we can figure it out later. After we wash things, we can push it one color or another. Yeah, and then the gem on her belt. Oh, maybe we should do the color of the rocks now, just so I don't forget. And I think I'll do some kind of weird green for the rest of the base around them, like so it looks like kind of scrub grass or something. Yeah, gray. Yeah, we'll do the basilican gray. Sorry, a little more shaking sound. Nice. Oh yeah, I'm really curious about the Army Painter speed paints too. They're so much cheaper. I heard the only thing I heard negative about them is that they reactivate, so you have to varnish them basically between if you want to do highlights or any washes or shading on top of them, you're going to have to. I mean, I don't know though if reactivation means you could actually blend. You could actually do like wet blending, or if it's in a bad way where it just starts, peeling it off of the model and all that bad stuff. But yeah, I'm curious to try those. The color tests I saw people do where they were just like putting both contrast paints and speed paints on. The colors are pretty similar. It actually looks like the speed paints are a little more vibrant in a lot of the different color ranges. Yeah, I think so. I think that it really, when there's little details on the model, contrast paints are so great because they pick up so much that would get lost otherwise. Okay, let's do her rock. So this is just a gray, just so we have a nice contrast. from that leather, and then I think the rest of the base is going to have like green or maybe sandy color. So yeah, so I'm just going to hit this rock with some gray, and then it'll probably get a wash later. Just so it's got some color to start out with. I hope I get it primed enough. Yeah, sometimes the contrast paint will pull up a little bit more than you want it to. If something isn't primed particularly well, or if there's any other kinds of troubles. But you can go back over things and kind of... Let me hit some of these other stones. Actual stones on the base. Alright. Okay, so that'll be a good start for what's going on there. Alright. I think we're pretty good. Oh yeah, the spears. Oh, and maybe purple also for the... there's like tassels on the spears. So, which order? Yeah, let's do the tassels first, because that can blend with the spear color much better than the other way around. So, there's my smaller brush. Nice. Oh yeah, so contrast paints are about, they're close to $10 American here. So they're like 1,000 or 1,100 Japanese yen, depending. I think they actually go up to 1,200 yen here. So that's well over $10 American. So yeah, they're pretty pricey. But we're kind of... Japan's slowly getting the Australia treatment from Games Workshop, where they have probably in the last, like, it just started happening pre-pandemic. They doubled the prices basically of everything in Japan, and started to support Japan a lot less. They canceled the Japanese language White Dwarf, and yeah, really murder you with prices. So we can get things like, things never sell out before they go on sale, so I can always buy something from Japanese Games Workshop or the Warhammer stores. I can always buy something where they have like the limited stuff. You know, when things sell out, it'll never sell out fast enough for Japan, because we're, you know, getting it 8 hours before a lot of other people. But, oh, nice. But maybe there's been a lot of resellers, or like, you know, Chinese students in Japan or whatever, that are taking advantage of that. And as Games Workshop kind of pulled out, they doubled prices on us. So we have kind of Australian prices for everything now. You just like... Yeah, they're basically scalper prices. If something sells out and it goes on eBay, basically the Japanese price and the eBay price, the eBay scalpers price, are the same price. It's really bad. Like, it's really frustrating. So after 8th edition, I kind of gave up on supporting 40K or anything very hard, because we got screwed so bad. That wildwood. It's pretty brutal. Yes, yeah, these are the 4 devout characters from the set. All right. So we'll do the spears, and then I think all we have left is washes, and washes don't make very good streaming content because there's a huge amount of drying time. And unless you want to hear a hair dryer on microphone. It's probably oh yeah, this is good. Yeah, it's probably not easiest thing to do. I kind of came to that realization I didn't have enough or long enough period of time to finish the devout, but when I realized it was all washes, it's basically paint and then go away until it dries. So if I could think of something else entertaining to do. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of the... well, we've been getting some teases of some pretty great units on the Facebook, the 3D renders of the units. I like how the dwarves are looking for Chronopia. And yeah, everything's been looking really good. And to actually see them, physically, not just the render, yeah, gives me a lot of confidence in how they're handling this. It looks really good. And the number of poses. So like I was saying, this is the same unit, but look at how dramatically different the poses are. They're both spearmen, and there's a standing, throwing, and a crouched a crouched thrusting spearman. So you're gonna have a nice variety on the battlefield, and not just 10 of this exact same pose. Like the 90s, like we had to survive in the 90s. You get one pose and you like it. Is that... oh, I missed the between the hands. Yeah, so very quickly I could empathize with my the Australian Warhammer fans, because the prices, and I think it's just they overestimated the popularity, or maybe not popularity, but how many new customers they were going to get, because I think Warhammer has always been popular in Japan, but it's a still very much a niche, and I don't think it's attracting new people because it's a very foreign thing. But yeah, I think they just kind of gave up expanding the market. I was just happy though that Osaka got a Games Workshop, or a Warhammer shop. I never thought that would happen, because it was always just the third-party guys, the local game stores handling Warhammer, and very kind of very sporadically. Yeah, there were some things that they didn't order, some things they didn't carry, and a lot of old inventory they couldn't get rid of. But they wouldn't discount it. They just had a very cluttered store. All right. And I think the other problem with large-scale war games is not even the price in Japan, because there's a lot of spoiled rich kids here, but there is not a lot of space. So getting around a 6x4 gaming table is not that easy. No one's got that kind of space in their house unless they're going to take over the whole living room, dining room, kitchen area of their house to play. So a lot of you have to rely on gaming clubs and stuff, and there's not that many. Yeah, so space is that's why a lot of board game designers and stuff from Japan, they love to do the micro games, because they know those will sell. People will buy those without thinking twice. But a huge game like Twilight Imperium or something is something a Japanese player may never experience in their life. There we go. Yeah, I like that shaft. I think the one of these needs to be silver. Yeah, this one. I missed the silver on it, but yeah. So I think I've got to do a white on this, because the my undercoat is an ivory, kind of off-white. So I think I'm going to bring it up to a frosty. Actually, should I do pure white? Or let's see. I've got a couple of options here. This actually, this one might clash though. This looks a little purpley. That might clash with the blue. So maybe I'll just do pure white because I can always wash it something else or go over white. Let's put this here. Uh-oh. Or not. Uh-oh, I might have to switch switch my whites. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, yeah, actually, let's go with this. Yeah, this one's a little too clogged. So that's this. Okay. Yeah, so let's try this ghost gray. So it's not a pure white, so I think it'll look nicer. And pure white is still on the table, but yeah, I'm not sure how much of the shield I want to do. White, but let's try this detail. Oh yeah, that looks good. It's not too gosh, I'm always an inch or two off. It's not too much for that. The blue of the shield. Yeah, maybe the whole front of the shield, all the borders and everything. We'll do this white. I think this looks good. Just got to get that ivory out of here. Or the, it's Wrathbone, the bone color. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah. And microgames, yeah, you can just like throw those in a bag. If you're going on a trip or something and end up getting stuck waiting for something, yeah, those microgames are great to have. And it's so cool how they can kind of come up with a pretty entertaining game with, like, 4 tokens, 6 cards, and just a little rule book. There's some really neat game design approaches. So do we want to do silver? So definitely this part and this, and then silver for the edges. So we want this to be white. Well, let's do it all white, and then I can go back and do silver later, because I just want to clean this up. I mostly just want to clean this up. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. It was really strong, stronger contrast between the blue. All right. Yeah, I'm so excited to for the full rule book for Chronopia 2, and to see the units that get unlocked during the campaign. All right, a little thinner here. There we go. All right. Sorry. I got my nose right on here, so you're not seeing a thing. Yeah, it's funny how much difference just getting rid of that off-white color does. So are we doing... Yeah, that's great. The other shield is just on his back, though, so... But that white looks good. That feels very Crystal Lotus. That nice contrast. Nice. Nice, yeah, they really do, and they've got demonic hordes, like the large kind of monster scale for devout are demons. So yeah, it's a very cool. It's a very cool faction. Yeah, I got a chaos army, so I'm very tempted to do devout as well because the big demons are going to be great. The sculptor that is working on the project is going to do great demons. We've already seen a little bit of the suggestion of how they could look. Oh, and maybe on the shoulders as well. So I'm looking forward to because he did the Blood Hunter. So as a day one, Chronopia is going to have an STL that you'll get for the Blood Hunter Devout, which was a miniature that I think was like half sculpted. There's a great illustration for it, an Adrian Smith illustration, and I think the mount was sculpted, but I don't think they ever finished. Like the rider never made it on there, and it was never cast. So they're going to release an STL for that one. So that'll be fun. And also, they mentioned too, there's going to be STL files for kind of supporting things like gauges and kind of periphery type model type things that you would use. Martin already showed a gauge off, like the I'm totally blanking on the kind of the range, the reach that a melee weapon has is different between different units, and there's a gauge for that. That looked really cool. So kind of like a swipe gauge to show how many units a weapon can hit and how far away they are. All right. Yeah, but the Devout are very cool, and the lore is very good. There's so the Devout are definitely like they're the fallen human faction. They feel very betrayed and turned on their own kind. So yeah, it's a very good. Yeah, all of the factions have a really original feeling for fantasy. There's a lot more depth to the lore than a lot of other fantasy settings. So that's a fun thing to fun thing to explore, and it colors the whole setting in a much more original way. It doesn't feel like D&D or Warhammer or anything. It feels very unique, and it was actually not a Dungeons and Dragons, but a Dragons and Demons setting in Sweden. It's never been translated. The RPG part of it's never been translated into English, but it was one of the original settings for kind of Swedish D&D. So with the fantasy races all kind of locked in intrigue and betraying each other, as well as fighting with the other with the other mortal races. All right. Sorry, I know I'm off camera, aren't I? But I've got to get a perfect line. I'm sacrificing your entertainment for a clean line on this shield. I know. It must be a one of the mortal sins of streaming. All right. Now we're just doing edges. I'll let you see that. There we go. Yeah, this white is perfect. It's not too stark, bright white. Nice. Yeah, you can see. So I haven't done the symbol in the middle. Look how yellow that reads now with that the primer. They're kind of betrayed they're humans that like pledge themselves to the Dark One, basically like the settings version of the devil, and were able to open portals to what they call the Dusk Realm, and the Dusk Realm is like, you know, hell, like a demon realm. So they are corrupted, and it gives them different powers, and especially like elemental power. I think there's kind of like a little bit of elemental magic in the elves, but also I think in the dark powers. And so yeah, the different factions have some large scale beasts, and in the lore there's like reasons for why they have access to these. So either they summon them, like the elves, or they have tamed them, and they used to be their gods, like the dwarves. So there's a lot of interesting lore based reasons why they have these gigantic, why there's like monstrous units in the armies. Okay, well, it's a little chunky, but I think we're okay. There's some brush strokes in there, but it's still cleaner than I thought it was going to be. All right, I guess the only thing I've got to figure out on these guys is, do I want to trim the pauldrons gold or just stay silver? Because the gold would warm things up, and I think, let's see, not in this art, yeah, there's nothing suggesting anything gold. There's a lot of red, actually, but in the first edition illustration, let's take a look at this again. Yeah, the elves. So this is a Obsidian Serpent elf, but still there's a lot of gold detail. Yeah, actually, yeah, these are Crystal Lotus in the first edition, and they are pretty monochrome. Huh. So maybe I don't want to do gold for the pauldrons, maybe just silver. Just that nice silver and blue. Yeah, it's not going to give me much variety, though. Or maybe I can just, yeah, a darker silver might actually be interesting. Maybe I'll see. Let me see how Leadbelcher looks just for that trim. So it has a little bit of contrast to the that really bright chainmail color that I was using. Let's see, because yeah, Ironbreaker is going to be out the same color, but Leadbelcher will be very kind of like a darker gray. Let's see how that looks. Yes, like Horus. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Their dark one daddy is a ongoing problem. Oh yeah, did you see the what's the Adepticon announcement of yeah, I guess announcement for plastic 30K. So finally, I wonder how expensive they can make plastic models now, though. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Because that's a little bit of a contrast to the bright silver, but it's still silver. So let's do this. So Leadbelcher. Yeah, I think I've always known this about Leadbelchers. It's a nice contrast to something bright, because then we don't have to go with gold. And it's still metal. Yeah, I was really enjoying the Siege of Terra, the Siege of Terra books, but I think they paused those so that they could get the box set release, the Horus Heresy box set release. But I wonder if they're going to screw up the system. I haven't heard yet if it's going to be the same 7th edition rules or if they're going to update it. There we go. But that's been that's been floating around for a while. The plastic Horus Heresy, because of the board game, those few board games that they did. People knew that was a possibility, and then finally they pulled the trigger. But yeah, I like that. I like the novels, the Horus Heresy novels, a lot more than any of the other 30K, I guess, except for like Eisenhorn. But oh, there should be blue under here too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and it's not something that I'm interested in spending $1,000 on to find out what it's like to play. I guess you could probably do it for less, but I would rather give that money to Chronopia than GW, because they're just, I mean, I think that's some people that are going to feel betrayed as the old 30K players, because I think the even the scale, the model scale is going to be a little different. So your old, super expensive resin from Forge World is going to not look great with the plastic. So you're going to probably, they're going to want you to upgrade. And that's got to feel like a huge betrayal. But I really think the mentality, oh God, I'm not talking about anything interesting. And I'm off camera. Yeah, but it's just it's just a shame they're only interested in the new customers, unless you're willing to rebuy everything. Sorry, yeah, so I'm doing lead belcher on all this metal detail that I thought was just going to be regular old silver or gold. Sorry about that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, talking and painting is not easy to do at the same time. All right. There we go. Yeah, this is a little thick. Yeah, my lead belcher's pretty old. Yeah, that's true. It should do well, but I'm afraid of those prices. All right. This is not a good time to be doing delicate stuff. There we go. Oh, and underneath this one. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Last one. Yeah, I think that'll work better than just doing more silver. So let me get this guy. This is going to be tough. This goes right up here. Sorry. It's tough to see and it's tough to paint. There we go. Yes, I'm just edging very poorly, edging these pauldrons. I'm gonna have to go back with the blue. But yeah, I think this is a good look though. A little bit darker gray instead of something else. Yeah, that was a theory, and I can't remember where I heard it, if I just kind of like put it together from things that I heard, criticisms that I heard. But to overprice something for a hobby, you're going after people's discretionary, or I guess, disposable income, their extra money. And so it makes sense to make your hobby as expensive as possible, because that eliminates their disposable income budget to buy any of your competitors' stuff. So it's a really good way to, that's a big screw up, to control a lot of a market and eliminate, or like you make your competitors, like Games Workshop's competitors are a distant second. There's nobody, there's not really a number two. There's a lot of number twos, but there's not a very close second in the market. All right. I don't know. Okay, so I got to go back and touch up with some blue. I kind of blew it, no pun intended, on some of that detail. And oh, that's right. What have we got left here? I kind of like, so maybe I'll just do some skeleton horde on that fur. So it stays kind of a natural color. That kind of looks nice, instead of making the fur black or dark, a darker color. Let's just go with skeleton horde, and it'll just kind of warm up a little bit. Oh yeah, are those good? Yeah, I'm really curious about the the Warhammer crime stuff. Oh, nice. Yeah, so they're kind of like the Skaven of 40k. Rats of unusual size. Yeah, I love that. Like, Skaven are underneath every city in the Empire, but nobody believes that they exist. Yeah, there we go. So like a darker... Is that too dark? Actually, I can go back over with a highlight, but I think this is good to pick out a lot of the... So this fur's got a lot of nice texture. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I have to do something to pick that up, and I think warmer color is better than something too cool. All right. Edge of the cloak. Yeah, so I'll be doing some, so off stream I'll be doing some washes and stuff to really change how stuff looks and tie some of these colors together. So things now that look a little disparate or not very, not coexisting very well, are going to look a lot nicer after some washes. Oh, the fur is down here too. All right. Cool. So a nice fur lining. Yeah, he really needs a lot of a lot of washing on that armor to let us see some of that detail. Even with that metallic, it's pretty lost. All right, now how about one more pass with the purple? Shake on the camera. Just one more little darkening. It's pretty good, just a little bit darker though. Just want to stay away from it being too pink. All right. Oh, maybe this as well. There we go. All right, so that's one more level. Oop. No autofocus. One more level of dark. Nice. Yeah, I read a little bit of the Warhammer Fantasy horror stuff about one of those anthologies, and oh, but I guess it's Age of Sigmar technically, isn't it? Yeah, so it's Age of Sigmar horror, which is much less interesting. But oh, that's right. This helmet is odd. It's got, you can see in the card art, there's something brown going on above his head. It can't be his head. So in that helmet, yeah, something is there on either side. I think there's like supposed to be like a leather facing or something on this helmet. Yeah, I guess I'll do that with a little bit of leather. And if it looks really bizarre, we can make it more of a hair color. But yeah, I think this is gonna do it. Oh yeah, another 3.5 hours. It's about as long as I can last on stream painting, I think. Or as long as it takes me to do 4 miniatures. Yeah, so let's put this color in here and see if that makes sense. There's like a leather panel or something on the front of this helmet. There we go. Yeah, that works. Yeah, so this guy especially needs some washes to kind of make sense of what he's wearing. So I'll do like a purple wash that'll bring that blue down and tie it into the color of his cloak a little bit more, and maybe that in the armor as well. That would be nice. So that silver and blue won't contrast in the same way on him. From behind, he looks pretty good. Those colors are nice. His hair and the silver, but I don't know about his blue pajamas. I may have to shift them all a little darker, and have to find a good wash for the flesh as well. So yeah, no broken spears. Unknown girl, you are very impressed, I know. But yeah, that was yeah, if you go to the assembly, I almost dropped one. If you go to the assembly video, you will see how timid I was trying to get these off of the big rafts of resin. All right, so everybody has got all their basics. Yeah, so that blue I think is going to work well. I'll definitely leave it that full strength on the shield. I may sorry, on some of the garments I might bring it down a little bit, but especially for the armor and the shield it looks nice. Wow. Yeah, and the hair colors worked out okay. I wasn't sure because I don't have a huge range of contrast paints, so. And they do such a nice job of hair. Oh, sorry, we're out of focus now, aren't we? All right. But yeah, so thanks everyone for hanging in there. Another, what is that? almost 150 minutes of miniature painting action. 2 nights in a row. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's all Age of Sigmar, turns out all grimdark. And they're bringing all the same people back. Oh, there's some ornaments on here I need to pick out with some color, I think. Yeah, they're bringing everybody back. So the old world was destroyed, but the souls of all their most popular characters survived. All right. Oh, and so just in case you're wondering, I can give you a quick peek. So these are just blocks of wood with washers on them. I just put a little blue tack on there because there's a magnet on the base, of course, and then that sticks it to the washer very easily. Like for priming and things, it works well. But for painting, that little bit of blue tack keeps it from spinning. So yeah, it's a pretty secure way to go. And then for storing these guys, because the resin or plastic is really light, little rare earth magnets in the base makes them very easy to store, so they don't knock around at all, unless the glue on the magnet breaks. I've had that happen. All right, so yeah, she's got some flesh that needs cleaned up, some blue on her skin, but otherwise I think we're good. Wow. So this is the elves. So I'll get a wash and some highlights on these guys, and we should be ready to go. So my very blue Crystal Lotus elves. They'll probably look a little more purple by the time you see them again. All right. And I guess I didn't really put all these guys on camera. Oh. But here are a little bit more close-up of the devout. So Miguel didn't like my filthy robes. I started out with white and they got pretty filthy. And the cursed here I left pretty dingy looking. So he's just got a bunch of washes, and I didn't, except for some of the gold details, I didn't really bring anything back for him. And yeah, then these two are just the standard followers with shield, sword and shield. But I really liked, and there's a little gold on all the bottom of their capes too. Some nice gold. But I liked how this red turned out. I was worried if I did bright red, I was going to regret it. And I found the nice, this kind of dark red. So this is devout. So if you can imagine a less dingy, dark version of this for the elves. So the elves will get a little bit more cleaned up, and I'll paint their bases and everything. So you will see that happen. So we'll definitely get some multiple cameras for the battle reports, so you can see the miniatures a little bit better, because they'll look really great. The poses are so dynamic; they'll look great knocking into each other, and in the melee phase and the fight phase, brutalizing each other. And they did a nice set of tokens and everything. There's already tokens in the little starter set, so there's dice and tokens. So we are ready to go. Just gotta collect some fantasy appropriate terrain, because this is a small enough battle. We're gonna have to block a lot of line of sight, although I think she's gonna be the only ranged unit. Nice. All right, so there we go. The elves have been they've been blocked in. The color is blocked in, so we're getting close. All right. Whoa. Well, thanks so much for spending the time watching some painting, and definitely check out the Chronopia Kickstarter. It starts March 29th of 2022, and you can go to their Facebook group. So just search Chronopia on Facebook, and there's also a link underneath this video. Search Chronopia on Facebook and it will come up, and there's a lot of details, and they're doing a lot of sneak peeks every day leading up to the Kickstarter, so you can kind of go through the the history on that group, and there's a lot to get excited about in there. A lot of reveals of renders of the models, and then also a lot of the art that's in the book, as well as details about the game. So check that out. And I'll be back again with show off if I get a chance. Yeah, actually I'll do photos. I need to do. I'll put all of these guys on Instagram. Went so to a tabletop kind of level. And this has been Upturned Table. So upturntable.com is the main website, and then we have the YouTube channel, and we're also on Twitch as well as Facebook. So look us up on there, and then all social media is also Upturned Table. And we do a weekly hobby kind of topic discussion. Chris and I kind of cover whatever's going on that week, and then we have lore videos and actual plays and reviews of RPGs. So it's mostly tabletop, mostly RPGs and war games, I think, is our biggest focus. We still do a lot of board games, but not being able to get together has limited our board game experiences in the past couple of years. So that's all for now. Please just give this video a like to help us get seen, and also subscribe if you want to get notification when we go live for our demo games. So the video, the live stream of our demo games. So thanks so much, and I'll see you again next time. So nice to see you, Grimdark and Miguel, Unknown Girl, Hypno, everybody. It was good to have you guys in the chat, and see you again next time. Goodbye.